NFC.
Yes.
A lot of interest, hype, talk about it. Will the Olympics kind of promise the NFC nirvana that we sort of hope? Is it going to be the kickstart?
Yeah, I mean, we'd hope so. I mean, Google Wallet's looking to launch the UK version of their mobile wallet around the Olympics. We work with a lot of the sponsors who are making NFC the big play around the Olympics. A lot of the media owners, it's all going to be NFC and QR enabled around the area. And then you've also got, all you have to do is look at the athletes. They're being kitted out with NFC phones. There's NFC dispensers, for drinks. There's all the payment terminals are all going to be NFC enabled. That's not by chance or coincidence. It's the fact that the technology is coming out there.
And so, do we think that's going to allow us to get over the biggest hurdle that QR had, which was education? In Japan, it worked because it was the operators and government doing TV advertising and other advertising to tell people it was there.
Yeah.
But in the UK and other countries, it was just kind of these codes magically appeared and no one seemed to know what to do with them.
Yeah. So if you look at a few of the manufacturers' TV ads that are running right now, they're all talking about NFC and the contactless side of things. In terms of the educational piece, I mean, I think the biggest barrier to QR is the fact that you need an app. NFC is completely appless. Things like image recognition, augmented reality. The reason that QR is the most mainstream right now is because the QR code is universal. It works across all the apps. If you want a Blipper augmented reality, you need to have Blipper. If you want the Erasmus, you have to have Erasmus, for example. So the app side of things is the biggest barrier. You need to launch an app, you need to scan the code. In terms of the educational piece, you are going to see a lot of people advertising against the contactless side of things, so getting people used to that sort of interaction. And it's going to be the job of the brands to make sure that they're not just paying for things with NFC, but also engaging with the brands using the same.
And in sort of some of the early work that you guys have done with NFC campaigns, what are you seeing as sort of the trends coming out to make a successful campaign? What are the types of things that you can actually be measuring?
Exclusive content. That's a real big win for consumers, rewarding that engagement. In terms of what we can track pretty much everything, link tracking, time of day, which NFC tag, what the kind of experience was, if you're running vouchers, redemption rates, drop-off rates, etc. The fact is, I mean, we've got something at Zappit called DEC, which is dwell time, the environment, the call to action, and connectivity. And they're the real key factors for success in a QR or an NFC campaign. It's really, really important, to let the consumer know what they're going to get and how to get it, make the content relevant, make it meaningful, and make sure that you're really rewarding that engagement. A lot of the user experience prior to sort of 6 months ago, the user experience wasn't what it needed to be, which is why QR started to get a bad name in the industry, because it was a desktop version, Resolve and stuff like that. So there's a lot of educational work and the experiences are improving. You can see every day better and better QR campaigns, and that's going to transcend onto NFC hopefully as well.
And what is the current NFC market at the moment? Are there phones out there that enable it to happen?
There's 11 handsets currently in the market in the UK. There's going to be over 50 available by the end of the year. BlackBerry's got over 1 million NFC enabled handsets currently in the market being used. Then you've also got your Nexus, all the new Nokia Windows phones are containing NFC. It's safe to assume that most of the smartphones that are being manufactured now are including NFC into the technology. Apple's filed a lot of patents around NFC technology, so it's safe to, or it's hopefully going to include NFC in the iPhone 5, and when that happens, consumer adoption is just going to skyrocket.
And if you were to give one piece of advice to brands that are sort of hesitant about NFC, what would it be?
Throw caution to the wind. We've worked with a lot of brands who are maybe slightly hesitant, and they've actually seen the press that you get as being an innovator, as someone who's forward thinking as a brand, and the fact is the technology is coming. So at worst case you're an early adopter, best case you're an absolute pioneer in your industry and you're a first mover. So really just throw caution to the wind and be impressed with the results, because people are engaging.
So get involved basically.
Exactly.